And we are now live, ladies and gentlemen, from New York, also Rochester, New York. This is In the Paint, the livest, the realest talking sports. We're on tonight starting at 9. I don't know what time we'll be ending, probably 10, maybe 10:30, who knows. We got a lot of stuff on the docket tonight. Like I said, man, it's our live stream show, and welcome. We are here. So thank you for joining us. Of course, Max 611 and I appreciate that. That's the creator of the show, Max 611. Say hello to your audience.
Hey, what's up, family? This is Max 611. Thank y'all
Mm-hmm.
for tuning in to In the Paint
Mm-hmm.
Live, ITP for Life on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.
That's it. That's it. We'll also be joined by one of our regular people that supports us, and I appreciate the brother as well as Max 611 does. We have our man Chandler, who's in the queue right now, but he'll be when he's ready to talk. You know, he's feeling a little bit under the weather. When he's ready to talk, he'll join us, and I'm sure we'll be joined by more people that I invited on this live stream as well. Mac, let's get into the show, shall we? We got, like I said, we got a lot of things to discuss tonight. The first thing on the docket is something that just happened. Hey, what's up, Marshall? I see you in the house. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, you here? I see you.
Okay, I just want to make sure my microphone and everything was working. I'm on a new computer.
Oh, okay.
No microphone sucks. Terrible.
Here we go. Here we go. The first thing we're gonna discuss tonight is the whole Carmelo Anthony deal. Him getting traded from the Houston Rockets and now going to the Chicago Bulls. But of course, the talk is that the Bulls, he won't even get the chance to play a single game with the Bulls. What he'll be doing is getting released immediately, which would probably more than likely lead him to getting to joining the LA Lakers. What are your guys' initial thoughts on this?
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna let them talk because I heard somebody start talking first.
I just said, well, that's all I said.
Okay.
It's ridiculous if the Lakers sign him. The
Mm-hmm.
Lakers need shooting. They need knock down shooters. Carmelo Anthony is a scorer. Yes, one of the greatest scorers of the basketball in the history of the NBA. He's not a shooter. There's a difference. J.J. Redick is a shooter. Mark Price was a shooter. Walter Davis was a shooter. Reggie Miller was a shooter. It's not Carmelo Anthony. They need a guy who, because they have so many guys who can't hit a jump shot. Okay, let's be honest. Honestly, Josh Hart is their best shooter. Okay. So you have a lot of guys who need to do what? Dominate the ball and break and get into the paint. Well, what happens when they back off those guys? They need someone to pass to who can catch it and shoot it. That is not Carmelo Anthony. We've already seen it's not him with the Houston Rockets. We've seen it's not him when Mike D'Antoni coached the New York Knicks. Why on earth, Magic Johnson, would you screw with Luke Walton? And this is not a knock against Carmelo Anthony, but it's a bad fit. And if he goes to the Lakers, I will be one of the people leading the pitchforks and torches against him. Okay, because he has no business going to a team that he doesn't fit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Matt, what's your take, brother?
Hey, the only way I see it working in LA is he plays limited minutes with the second unit, and he be that guy that they throw the ball into, in the paint and as an isolation player. But the games change; they don't really play that way anymore. Certain teams still play a little bit that way, but for the most part, nobody plays that way. And LA does need a shooter. They have a bunch of guys who, like Chandler said, they get to the rim. Some of them can knock down threes, but that's not their game, like Carmelo. What I've been watching, what I see, maybe he should go to San Antonio. Talk to Pop. He would fit their system. He could be that guy that, when LaMarcus Aldridge sits on the bench. He be that guy on the second unit that does what LaMarcus Aldridge is doing right now. LaMarcus Aldridge is playing really well. And y'all know I don't particularly like LaMarcus Aldridge, but
Right.
he's been playing very well this year.
Mhm.
Both statistically and just the way San Antonio style is right now, Carmelo would fit in there. And really, I don't know any other team he would fit in with.
What about Portland?
I don't think so because he don't play defense. He don't play defense, and the two guards don't play defense.
So you don't think that's a match then? Obviously, for that reason.
He would get his numbers there, but they wouldn't necessarily win. And I think they. You gotta have Portland doesn't have enough defenders. They don't need another offensive guy. They got enough offense.
Okay. I feel you. That's
And Mark makes a good point about defense, because we saw that last year in the playoff series versus New Orleans, where they absolutely looked lost and confused on defense. So yeah, he's definitely hit that on the head.
Okay, but I'm looking. I just had to pull up some standings real quick in the NBA, and I'm looking at the Western Conference. They're like ranked number 4 with a record of 28-19 at this point. Right. I don't know. I mean, I get your concerns over defense and stuff like that. I do understand where you're coming from, but again, in a West that, and I was about to say, because we already had this discussion about being tough, I'm gonna take that back. But in the Western, but in the Western Conference, I think that this would be a pretty good move. I think it allows him to be him. He would fit more in Portland than he definitely would in LA. That's for sure. Right. I truly believe that. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a move that can actually help them, even with the concerns on defense. I get you guys. I understand, but again, I think this helps him out a little bit. Both teams. I mean, both parties. It helps Portland, and it definitely helps Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
I mean, if Portland wants to take the next step, and granted, I don't think they're there. If they want to get to where the promised land, what I'm talking about is NBA Finals.
Right.
The defense has to improve, or they don't have a chance.
Oh, of course.
And we all know playoff scoring drops down when you hit the playoffs. And it's not going to be those 3-pointers that everybody loves. You know what's going to be? Mid-range jumpers and going to the rim.
Okay.
But that's not Portland's goal. Portland's goal is not to win an NBA championship. And I'm sorry to break that to people. Every team is not trying to win a championship. Every team wants the appearance of trying to win a championship.
Right.
But Portland, if they are relevant, if they are in the playoffs, win a round, win a series, those fans will pack that arena. That's good enough. That's good enough. I mean, look at the Portland franchise historically. They have always drawn well. They haven't always been great. They've had some good spurts, but consistent greatness, no. But they're good enough that the fans keep coming. And obviously, it's good enough for those fans, because you don't ever really hear Portland fans saying, "Man, this championship a bust." No.
No.
So you make a point there.
So I don't believe about the. I mean, yes, I know the players might want to win the championship, and I'm differentiating organization from players here. I think the Portland organization are quite content with being a number 4 seed, winning around in the playoffs, and going home. I think they're okay with that.
Yeah, I have to agree totally, definitely. So again, I mean, another thing, Marshall, when you said about the defense, and trust me, I'm a full believer in defense in the NBA. You understand? I like I said last show, I was like, I don't even like watching the sport how it's conducted now. To be perfectly honest, it's boring to me. You understand, with the outrageous scores and stuff. You got teams scoring 135, 36 points to 151 points. It's ridiculous. You understand? It's like on the equivalent level of like the All-Star game, where there's no defense whatsoever. It's like the quickest race to whoever gets to 200 or 250 points. You understand? So, but my thing is, will that change? Because I think we're close to we're either at the halfway point or beyond it as far as the season goes. And I'm
at the halfway point.
We're at the halfway point.
Some
hasn't
teams have
changed.
played already 42 games,
Right.
some more than that. They
Right.
played a little bit past the halfway mark.
Well, I know I mentioned Portland being 28 and 19. That's 47 games right there. So they're way past the halfway point. I get that. But what I'm saying is, with that being said, is it going to change? You know what I'm saying? And at this point, is it going to change at the drop of a dime? You get what I'm saying? Because it's more than halfway through the season. Are we going to see this type of play going on into the playoffs? I don't know if I'm going to see defense. I got to be honest with you, because we're past the halfway point, and there's no indication it's going to change at any point soon. So that it might not be an issue as it relates to Portland. Be perfectly honest.
They got a nice crew. For me, I've been talking basketball to different people on, whether in our group, on Twitter, other discussions, and if we take Golden State out of basketball, we take them out of the NBA. Is there a clear-cut team that stands out to you? I say no. They're the only team that I can say I would guarantee winning a championship. Getting Boogie Cousins back. But there's no team in the NBA clearly that stands out. Everybody has flaws.
I'd agree with that. I could agree with that.
Yeah, if you remove Golden State from the equation, then there's several teams that could win. Several teams in the East. I looked at the standings the other day. I couldn't believe the Pacers were in third place. I was like, what the hell's going on here? But they ain't gonna do shit. But still.
You're right about that.
Right. And everybody keeps running with the false narrative that the West is stronger than the East. Last year, there were 4 teams in the East with over 50 wins, and there were only 2 teams in the West with 50 wins. That being Golden State and Houston.
Right.
So pretty much everything is evened out, You got Toronto, Philadelphia, Boston, and Milwaukee. Those are the top 4 teams on paper to me in the East. And everybody else falls in line. You got the Nets ascending, becoming better. They've been on a roll. Indiana is a decent team, and Detroit rounds it out. The East is far better than it's been in years. And that narrative that the East is weak is a very false and weak narrative.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that too. Because we've seen teams in the East get stronger. Like I'm looking at Toronto. I'll be honest with you. Even with Kawhi before the season began, even with Kawhi, I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna lie, and it's no swipe, no disrespect towards Kawhi Leonard, but I'm just like, okay, it's still, to me, in my eyes, it was a weak Toronto Raptors team.
Right.
That changed significantly over the course of the season. I've seen this boy like light them up. You understand, and get them. You know what I'm saying, on that level. I really believe that. The East is getting a lot better.
Right. Boston,
the gap is closing.
Right. Boston is now a 5th seed now. Right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, they'd be the 5th seed. And I'm just gonna throw this in there, switching gears a little bit.
Sure.
Kyrie Irving went and apologized to LeBron. And I'm laughing. I'm like, dude, didn't you want to leave, LeBron? You wanted to be the man, right? So now you're the man in Boston. It's kind of hard, isn't it? Kind of hard being a leader. It's kind of hard being the number one guy, which is what you wanted.
Well, Mac, it's not surprising. You know what I'm saying? Guys, it's not surprising because this guy, he wasn't a leader when he was a leader, being in Cleveland. How about that? I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons. We've seen what the record was with him as the quote unquote leader. And what it was. It took LeBron James to come back from Miami for him to get that championship. You know what I'm saying? And for him to also be in the playoffs for that matter. So,
right.
Yo, get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
But that is actually showing some leadership by
It
admitting that,
is.
you know what?
Okay.
I
By
actually
admitting
don't know
you were
what
wrong.
I actually don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Mhm.
I actually have been wrong, and you know what?
I'm
I was
sorry.
the a-hole. I was the a-hole.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the
Mhm.
same guys he's criticizing, now he's like, damn, that was me. Now I get it. Maybe
Right.
the light bulb finally has gone on for him,
Okay.
but
Right.
I'll believe it based on his actions. If I
Mhm.
still see
True.
the same nonsensical body language on the court, if I still hear the veiled, shots at people, if
Mhm.
I still hear, hey, I confess he did it, then I don't give a damn if you apologize to LeBron. Now it's time for him to walk the walk.
Right.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So let's
Right.
see him. Let's see him do that from this point forward. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, my thing is like, and thanks for pointing that out, Chandler. I appreciate that because you're right. He's stepping in that leadership role by accepting responsibility. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to refer to him as let's see, let's show and prove. I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. But I'm just saying, prior to that, he was what he was.
But
You understand? Yeah.
just days before he threw shots at teammates. One being, the veil shot was at Jason Tatum because I
Mhm.
think in the game Jason Tatum missed a game winner or whatever.
Mhm.
I forget what game it was, but that veil shot was at Jason Tatum. And getting to what Chandler said, you can't do that anymore. You gotta not put stuff in the media. You gotta hold your guys accountable by how you treat them on the floor, off the floor,
Mhm.
and not through the media. Through If your guy misses a shot, you go over and you pat him on the back. Yo, you get him next time. As opposed to giving him that look like I should have took that shot. I don't know why we gave the ball to him. He hasn't changed that mannerism.
Hmm. Well, just like you said, this happened a few nights ago. Um, again, if that happened, can we take this guy serious? You know,
Right.
you saying one thing, and now is your actions following? So we'll see. From
Mhm.
this point, we'll see. You understand what I'm saying? So, if he's being sincere, yo, props to the brother. But if he's not, he's being phony. If he's just talking out his ass, just be talking out his ass, then yo, you already know the deal. He ain't changed since his days from Cleveland, and that's just
Yeah.
what it is.
And my question would be, why now? What made you do it? See, don't give me half the story. Don't give me half the
Right.
story. You gave me half the story. Why did you suddenly realize it? What was the epiphany? Did somebody finally pull you to the side? Did your teammates approach you? Did you
Mm-mm.
finally just get tired of listening to your own bullshit?
Mm.
Okay, because there comes a point, man, when you are, and I'll just speak from my experience. There came a point for me, and when I was in the service and I was leading and I was supervisor, and then I got removed as supervisor because I became the world's biggest asshole. Um, there came a point where I had to sit down with me and realize that I was full of shit.
Mm.
And I had to go to people and say, hey, I need you to be honest with me, man. How bad am I? And they gave me the truth. And it hurt and it was painful, but I had to hear
Right.
it. And
Right.
then I adjusted and I was supervisor again, and things were very different. And my leadership style changed drastically from that. But there had to be something that made him call LeBron. So what I want to know is, why now?
Hmm.
What happened that made the light go on, gave you the epiphany, gave you the aha moment, whatever it is, the apple is banging you on the head? I need to know what happened, because if you just giving me half the story, then I'm still thinking you might be full of shit.
There it is,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying, bro. Go ahead,
Until he
Marshall.
comes out and says why he said something to LeBron, then
Right.
Chandler has a point, because if it's just lip service just to kind of get LeBron, on your good side, and then you still, do the same stupid shit, then it's all bullshit.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's the team's record, and they not doing as well as they are expected to be. And he's been I see the body language. He been looking side eyed at some of his teammates. He been flapping his gums in the media a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
making little little comments, and they directed at teammates. So I agree with y'all.
Yeah. And then essentially, nothing has changed. You understand? Despite your statement, you understand? If you got that going on, yo, bro, you just need to shut up. Don't put yourself out there. Just keep rocking who you are. Be the asshole that you are. We all know it. Whatever. You understand? And don't put on no airs. Don't put on no fake, profile, man. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And keep your words to yourself. Because if you ain't gonna be legitimately real, then you don't need to say anything. End of story.
Right.
It's ridiculous. I'd like to move on into something else at this time. If I'm allowed to do so.
No.
We're going to get into a little boxing. I was joking around earlier before the broadcast, and I am so happy to be wrong. I love it. Thank you, God. Because we all know how. I'm almost never wrong. You're right. But
you should see my face right now.
I know, that's why I said it. Shock value. No, but this fight that happened between Manny Pacquiao and Adrien the Clown Broner this past weekend that went down Saturday in I think Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. And a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao outclassed. I think Adrien Broner's like what, 29, perhaps? Is he, if I'm not mistaken? I don't think he's 30 as of yet. And I was on here talking about this during our preview of the fight, and I was saying how the sport of boxing is typically a young man's sport, and I was proven wrong. Manny Pacquiao dominated, and I use the word dominated, Adrien Broner. It was embarrassing for him. But then Adrien Broner, in his usual buffoonery, at the post-fight, interview, saying that he won this fight. I beat that dude. I beat that man, to the crowd, and he said it just with so much pride, and so much conviction. You almost believed him for a second if you didn't watch the fight and didn't know it. You understand? So he came off looking just really stupid. And my thing now, the concern I have for him is, and Mac, we talked about this on and offline as well, is the future for dude. What's going on with that?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure, please.
Was it a decision or a TKO that Pacquiao won?
No, it was a decision. Unanimous as well.
And yet he still thinks he won the fight?
Yep.
Right. Get the fuck out of here.
He threw 8 punches per round. That was his average. He threw 50 punches for the fight. You're not gonna win unless you
What? Say that again.
He threw 8 punches per round. He threw on average, and he threw 50 punches for the fight.
How many minutes in the round?
3. Unless you're Willie Pep, you're not gonna win a fight doing it.
So in 3 minutes, he threw 8 punches
per round.
Okay. Yeah, he won.
Oh my God.
What did I tell y'all was gonna happen? Manny's a volume puncher.
Yeah.
Going against guys of that nature and in big fights, Adrien Broner is now 0-4. He lost to Sean Porter. He lost to Mikey Garcia. And who else is the other big name he lost to? He lost to Manny. And he lost to one other big name that escapes me. But he's 0-4 in those fights. And all those guys are either pressure fighters or volume punchers.
True.
He's 3-1 in his last 7 fights. I was talking to somebody on our sister's page, on Ivy's page, and this dude is like, he deserves to make more money. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Right.
He made $2.5 million, which is the most he's ever made in a purse.
Right.
He's been a B-level talent, but as of now, he's C-level. And he's, the more you lose, the more I can't take you as being viable as a headliner.
Right.
He wasn't the A side of this fight. That was a 40-year-old washed up Manny Pacquiao who was the A side of this fight. That's why Manny made $10 million and probably he's gonna make $20 you know, once they divvy up the pay-per-view numbers and he gets his percentage of that, and maybe Adrien makes a little bit more than the 2.5, but he had a chance to sign with Rockefeller, with Rock Nation, and take a $60 million per 60 million based over a number of fights. He said no. He said that was pennies for him. He felt disrespected at that number. Then he was offered by Eddie Hearn and Matchbox. He was offered 20 million, maybe a little bit more. He said that was even bad. I'm like, well, dude, you 3-3 and
You turn down
1.
60 and then 20 is not good enough. I mean,
Right. And he got a nice little deal right now with Showtime and Premier Boxing, but he has to realize Saturday was his night to shine, and you didn't. You fight the same way. You give away rounds early, and then in the later rounds, you look for a knockout, and you're usually behind. So I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Well, Marshall, you want to go ahead?
I mean, I don't know much about boxing, but
Right.
I mean, just a common sense thing. I mean, if you give away rounds early and then you trying to find the TKO for the magic bullet to win the fight because you know you're going to lose the decision, then you're screwed anyway. And besides the fact that he ain't throwing that many punches to begin with,
right?
How's he expect to get his TKO? And I mean, I don't know. This guy, I mean, like you said, Saturday night's the fight night. And I mean, that's what people turn into the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Sure.
And if you don't deliver, then you're going to be an undercard fighter at best, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this guy needs to he won the fight. Yeah, whatever.
Right. You know, the thing that gets me, gentlemen, is the fact that, you know, the amount of punches he threw per round is just astonishing to me, because what are you doing? You're not being aggressive, obviously. You understand? And you're not, to me, you're just not wanting to win the fight. You understand? And for you to just stand there afterwards and protest and make yourself look like a total jackass, you understand? And Mac was right. He couldn't deal with the volume punching of Pacquiao. He said that. You know what I'm saying? So, props to you, brother. But you know, but I'm just saying, man, I was really, really kind of shocked, even though I shouldn't have been. And I said I hope I was wrong, but I was thinking maybe logically, and maybe I shouldn't have been thinking logically when it comes to Adrien Broner. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe that's my fault. You know, so I should have realized the clown that he was, even though I already knew, but I gave him a chance in this fight based strictly on the age factor. You understand? I mean, seeing Pacquiao beat up Lucas Matisse, that's not exactly a ringing endorsement. Lucas Matisse is like 65 years old, you know, in boxing years. You understand what I'm saying? And experience wise. So, all right, Pacquiao beat him. Okay, yay. You know, I'll give you a golf clap. But going in against a young, arrogant, maybe perhaps even angry Adrien Broner, I thought that Broner would take him out. You understand what I'm saying? Within maybe about 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for. But again, logically thinking, you can't apply that to an ignorant asshole. So, you know, my bad on that. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's just my thoughts.
Chad needs the link, and
okay.
you know, just check. Okay.
I told him I sent them through the email.
He said it wasn't working.
No.
Come get a better damn computer or phone.
No, what he's probably got to do, like I figured it out, he's got to use Chrome, because if he uses anything else, it won't work.
Oh, see, you heard that? Hopefully, Chad, I'm gonna send it to you again, but you got to use Chrome, brother. All right, so I'm getting ready to send it right now. So you guys keep talking while let's talk. You know what? Talk about the future for Broner, if we didn't go all that already.
Hey, listen, if he's gonna have to take a step back, he might have to fight somebody who's not a big name, and then do well in that fight, and then reassert himself back into the welterweight division, which is, you know, filled with top talent. Or like me and Chad were talking earlier, maybe he gets a fight with one of the big names. maybe one of the guys who doesn't have a belt. I would like to see him fight Swift. So I can see Swift beat his ass in Brooklyn.
Right.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. What benefit is it to them to fight him? See, I get where the benefit is for him to fight them. But what does it benefit them? It's kind of like the Anthony Joshua thing with Wilder and Fury. Anthony Joshua don't have to fight them because he don't need them. Broner needs people to fight him way more than anyone needs him to fight them. So why would they take that fight?
He's still a draw, somewhat. Still a name. You could still build a fight with Broner, even though that, for me, that time clock is time clock is dwindling on that till he will become a stepping stone for the younger fighters who want to come up. He's in a precarious position.
Right.
He's still a name. He's still relevant. He has talent, but he has to get in there. Like I told the dude on Ivy's page, he got to show and prove. He hasn't shown improving in his last 7 fights.
Right. You know what I mean? So I know we're trying to get Chad in here at some point because I know he's a huge boxing head, and I'm sure he wants to, go on this topic right now. So just bear with us for a second. I'm not going to move on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, Adrien Broner, I had said that basically it was, and this is incorrectly. I'm not whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I had said before that, it's pretty much a wrap. You're going to be fodder for the division. You understand? The stepping stone.
He said fodder.
I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. You're going to be fodder for this division, dude. I'm like, but, I was wrong. Oh, man. Okay, this thing is not working. Oh, my God. What the hell is up with this damn thing?
But right, wouldn't you like to see him fight Swift? Because they have been talks before for them to fight. I like to see that for Garcia. He has a fight coming up in April. Would you like to see him get in the ring with Sean Porter again?
Nah.
Been there, done that?
Been there, done that. I already know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We all know what's going to happen and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm good.
I'm going to name the top 2. Errol Spence and Crawford.
He don't want that smoke. He don't want that smoke, man, because he gonna be crying again, like after he got beat by who made him cry? Was it Maidana? Yeah. He gonna be crying, sniffling like crying and all that stuff. So he don't want that smoke, dude. He don't want that smoke.
Thurman,
I might. You know what? I might do that. I'm not gonna front. I might do that. You know what I mean?
Thurman to beat the brakes off of him, though.
Well, you already know, but I'm just saying it'd be a refreshing change and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I got one last name.
Who's that?
In the division, Jeff Horn. Okay.
He might be.
I'd pick Jeff Horn over him.
Damn. Wow, that's an insult, man. Come on, don't do that do that.
I don't trust Adrien Broner. I don't trust him in the big lights. I don't trust him because Jeff Horn is a pressure guy, and Jeff Horn is tough.
Yeah, he tough. I ain't gonna lie. He a tough dude. You know,
I don't trust Adrien Broner. Sorry.
Nah. That's a negative right there. You know,
and it's funny. Or a lot of people pick Adrien Broner based on him. A lot of the black people I know, they pick Adrien Broner based because he's black.
What?
You people are dumb.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. So that's the N words he was referring to during that interview. You know what I'm saying? Those people that supported him, right?
I guess so. He got supporters though. It's dudes. I had guys on other, our other friends' pages up there where he gonna come in and he gonna throw this amount of. I said he don't throw punches, bro.
You did say
Do
that.
you watch Adrien Broner fights?
No, apparently he doesn't. You know, what the hell is going on? I'm trying this thing.
He's in a precarious position. There's still life left in his career being a name in the welterweight division, but he keeps taking losses. He's not going to be relevant, and you go to stepping stone status.
Right.
The thing is, he's losing fights, man. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's non-competitive.
I agree.
He's out of shape.
Always.
It's not a good fight. So I get what you're saying about him being a name.
Right.
But if I'm the manager of any of those guys, I say I'm not going to waste my time with him. And here's why. If I win, well, you were supposed to. If he looks up, because any given day, right? He's upset and get that one hitter quitter in there. I just ruined 3 years. I've just set myself back 3 years. Do I really want to take the chance on that?
Right.
Yep.
Right, because what happened in the Sean Porter fight, Porter was winning, and late in that fight, he knocked Porter down.
Right.
You know, every dog got his day. And that was a good fight. That was an entertaining fight. It was a good fight. And Porter won that fight though. But
oh man. Listen, our brother Chad just cracked me up, man. You see this guy is right now in the chat room.
So you still can't figure this out?
Oh man. Huh?
It's not working for him for some reason.
What the frick? Okay, sorry. You just got the I don't know what the hell's happening. I'm trying.
Tell him it's karma.
Uh-oh.
I guess so.
Oh boy.
He said Google was hating on the gods, y'all.
Yeah, it must be.
Chad's ass.
It must be. Yeah, but go ahead, Mac. I'm sorry.
Nah, man, see, he has talent. I've watched him on the come up, and I liked him. I liked his story, and he just ruined all that for me. So now I'm like, well, I don't trust you, man. I can't give you nothing.
Right.
Especially if he's lazy and don't want to work and don't want to act like he cares. I mean, because if you're lazy on a fight, and some dude who's got nothing, like a stepping stone, like Mark was saying, he's looking to say, I'm gonna take this guy out.
Right. What gets him paid is that he's entertaining, in the press conferences for people like that. Me personally, I cringe when he steps in front of a mic.
You and I both. You and I both.
That's why Jeff Gray had to put him in his place.
Yeah, that was funny. Jim, you mean Jim Gray? You know what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah.
I'm
still here.
Okay, I didn't know you got silent.
You
got like deathly silent. I was like, okay, we all got cut off, I guess. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I was trying not to groove kill you.
No, whoa! Thank God. I don't believe it. The last show.
Can I get a high five for that, bro?
Yeah, I'll give you a high five. There you go, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, dude, I was like, he was killing me yesterday. What was that, Friday? I was like, yo, what's up with this guy? You all right, man? Been drinking over there? You smoking the wacky tobacco?
Get a little excited. I'm sorry.
I see. I was like, yo, you over there smoking weed or something? What's happening with this dude, man? I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to relax you, brother. But
I apologize.
It's all good. What we're gonna do, we're gonna move on from this. I'm sorry again, apologies to Chad. I don't know what's happening with this link, but I don't know. I can't call it right now. So just you know what I'm saying? I really can't. I'm sorry.
Translation, he don't want you here, Chad. I wouldn't take that from him.
Why are you trying to stir?
I know where he worked, bro. You want that address? Bring him that smoke.
Yeah, give him the address. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you give him the address for it. It's all good. No, but seriously, let's do a little moving on. I want to get in the lane of NFL before we check out officially tonight. The first time, I'm not even gonna get into the conference championships yet. Yo, what's up with this rule? They mulling a rule change with this pass interference becoming reviewable by instant replay.
Well, I just saw a link today. I mean, it was just something I clicked on, but Here's the thing. A couple years ago, I actually watched the CFL, the Canadian Football League final, the Grey Cup. And I had saw it was a rule in their league where they can actually challenge, but it's part of their challenges to where they can challenge the call where it was pass interference. So they don't get anything extra. It's just part of your challenges, like you get the normal challenges. If you're wrong, then you lose a timeout. That's how I think it should work. Because now it was when that call had happened, it was before the 2-minute warning, so it could have been challenged if that rule had been in place. But something on that, I mean, is just where they really kind of just messed it. I mean, it sucks for the Saints, but let's be honest with you too. They did win the toss in overtime. And if you win the toss in overtime, what are you supposed to do? Go score a touchdown. And they didn't do that. So where I understand that they did get screwed by the refs on that one call. If they take care of business in overtime, it's a non-issue. That's just how I see it.
I agree with you. Well said. Here's the thing. Why don't they have one of the old, I guess, head of officials or somebody else who's sitting in a booth and watching the game. If the call is wrong, why don't they let that person who's sitting in the booth overrule them? Is that a thought for y'all? What do y'all think?
I've always thought that. Even if it's not a rule, why not do it anyway? Why not buzz down to that ref and say, listen, you missed that call. You can't miss that call. You have to make the call. You will throw a flag. Because I disagree with you about, well, they had a chance in overtime. The reason it went to overtime was a direct result of the non-call. So everything that happened after is a direct result of the non-call, which means that the Saints didn't win the game. You don't go to overtime if he calls the proper penalty. Now, you know what? I can't say 100% certainty because they could have fumbled the ball. A lot of things could have happened. But let's just go with probabilities. Law of probability says, law of averages says that the Saints run 3 plays, kick a field goal, boom, bang, boom. Saints win the Super Bowl. Would that have actually happened? We'll never know. But it never should have gone to overtime. That is a fact. This game never should have gone to overtime. So I don't understand why the replay booth did not. And the thing was, when that play happened, if you guys remember, there was a big delay. Right? There was about at least a 30-second delay. They were showing it on the Jumbotron and the stadium and everything else. They had more than enough time to throw a late flag. They had more than enough time to fix it. They chose not to.
That is a valid point.
Right. But Chandler, if they kick a field goal, the Rams get the ball, right? They have to score a touchdown for the game to be over, right?
Okay. Well, no, even with a touchdown, here's what I'm saying is this. Their field goal or touchdown, there probably still would have been, I say maybe between 10 and 30 seconds left. Between 10 and 30 seconds. So the Rams would have had one last opportunity, maybe.
Right. Well, I'm talking about overtime. I'm talking about the overtime rules.
Oh, what about them?
You have to score a touchdown for the game to be over. If you kick a field goal, the other team gets the ball, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Overtime. No, I was talking about if they call a pass interference, then the Saints probably run 3 plays and kick a field goal. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. My fault then. I misinterpreted what you were saying. My fault.
Yeah, because he does make a point because the Rams only had 1 timeout, and I think it was before the 2-minute warning. So if that first down happens, then the Saints force the Rams to burn their timeout, and then the Rams get the ball back, like Chandler said, with about anywhere from 30 seconds to wherever.
Right.
And with no timeouts, it's a lot easier. Yeah, the guy can catch the ball, but if you tackle him in bounds, you don't have time to spike it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game plays out very differently if it's called or if the coach has. And that's the thing. I hope they don't make that like a separate challenge type thing. Because at the end of the day, what should be challengeable? Any play that's not a judgment call.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm sick of hearing these people who get paid to be at the games, who get parking passes, who get fed, who get a paycheck to sit there and talk about the game. Tell me that the game is too damn long when I have to spend 3 mortgages to go to a game. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
I want that damn game to last 3 weeks. Okay?
He said 3 weeks.
That might be the only game I go to all year. I want overtime. I want triple overtime. You know what I'm saying? I want sudden death. All of it. Shit.
Right. Uh-huh.
Now, did you all hear this about the, there was something that somebody posted where the commissioner can actually overturn the result of the game? I have never heard that shit before in my life.
Yeah, Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas actually posted that. That is in the NFL rule book.
What?
Yep.
I'm not making it up.
I didn't know that.
No, Michael Thomas was the one who posted that on Twitter.
Wow.
I don't see that shit happening, but it's in the rule book.
Yeah, it's in the rule book that if there is an extraordinary circumstance, the commissioner can, in effect, ask the game to be totally replayed or replayed from the moment of the extraordinary circumstance.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah, apparently the NFL didn't either, but Michael Thomas went and found it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
That's new to me.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
But the officials shouldn't shouldn't be a part of this story, and they usually are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're human, you know. I can understand if they miss plays, but there should be something where even if they miss the play, that you see, where it can be changed.
But I get why people were against instant. I never was, but I do get why people were against instant replay because some of the greatest sport arguments, right? What do they revolve around when you really think about it? Officials and missed calls.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Think about some of the best, most intense sports arguments that you will have either as a kid, teenager, or will have it as an adult.
Immaculate Reception comes to mind.
It's something about
Meldrick
the
Taylor
making or not making a call, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the beauty of sports, is that things like that, man, for generations, you talk about them. You know what I'm saying? For the next 30 to 40 to 50 years, people are going to be talking about this damn game. Would they have talked about it otherwise? Honestly, no, because it was a boring-ass game.
But because of that controversy, yeah, they're going to be talking about that shit for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or the non-call in the New England game.
Yeah, the tuck rule. They still talk about the tuck rule.
Or the calls that I'm talking about. I'm talking about Sunday's game.
Mm-hmm.
That that play with Brady, where the guy hit him up top.
They missed him, and they called the rough and the passer.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's some BS.
But Mark, nobody's gonna be talking about that call because the Patriots won and it really didn't impact the game.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones that impact, like Don Dinkinger, called a Hal McRae. Wait a minute, I'm gonna get it wrong. It was against the Cardinals. He called him out when he was safe.
Right.
It was 1985. Was it 85?
Mm-hmm.
Is that in the World Series?
Yeah, the World Series. You got to fact check me on the year.
That Got
Was
you.
it against the Royals? If it was 85.
Okay, it was 85. Yeah, dude, they're
Cardinals
still talking
versus
about it.
Royals, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hal McRae.
Right.
They're still talking about that. It's how many decades later? This is the genesis of the whole human element argument, if you really think about it, because it keeps certain games alive. It keeps the passion for the sport alive. You know, you got fathers and uncles and nieces and nephews and aunts and moms and dads who still have arguments. Oh, he was safe, he was out, he was safe, he was out. It was a cat, go with the damn cat. You know, and it allows them to bond in many ways, man. So I can see both sides of it, but yeah, I do want them to get the calls right.
Right. Of course. Of course. Well, I tell you right now, I was looking forward to having certain people here that were New England Patriots fans. I know. I know my man, Mr. Chandler, was kind of tight at me.
Yes.
Yes.
Fans are still drinking, so screw them.
What'd you say, Chandler?
The Patriots fans are still drunk.
Dude, you should have. Let me tell you something. I just have to say this because to me, I find it hilarious with the hate, man. I just find it comical, man, because that hate is like just so deep seated inside people, man. And I have, you know me, once I see this, I have fun with it. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. I'm sorry. It's just hilarious.
People still doubting whether Tom Brady is a GOAT. Yo.
He is.
Right.
He's not. Stop it.
Here you go.
Why isn't he?
Okay, for his era, yes, he is. You can't. Okay, let me just say this. Football to me is one of the few sports where you can't say, "Oh, this guy could play in any era," because the rules have changed. Listen, there was a time they played without face masks, dude. Okay,
I agree with you.
So for his era, is he the best? Yes. Is he the greatest of all time? Hell no. Because you don't know how he would have done when they were allowed to basically pick the quarterback up, drag him around like a piñata, and everybody take a whack at him.
I know how he would be because he don't like to get hit, so he wouldn't.
Because Chandler makes a great point because the Chargers and the Chiefs put no pressure on Tom Brady whatsoever. You know how the Giants won those 2 Super Bowls? Guess what they did?
Of course.
They put pressure on the quarterback. And you know what happened? They made him uncomfortable.
Right.
So, yeah, like Mark makes that point. He got smacked around a little bit. You're not looking so hot.
But
it's just
I ain't mad at people when they say he's the GOAT. And I hate everything New England. I hate Tom Brady. I hate Bill Belichick. They could all F him.
Oh, brother.
Plus, he's that dude. You all had that one kid in class who everybody just liked. No matter what he did, everybody liked him. I hated that fucking kid. I hated that kid.
Oh, my God.
Tom Brady's that kid. I hate that kid.
Yo, y'all are so...
Chandler and Marshall, Mr. Van Exel wants y'all's numbers so he could harass y'all also.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to decline Mr. Van Exel's invitation.
They said, "Nah, bruh. We ain't harassing them."
Exactly. Wow, that's crazy, man. You know,
I told the dude how to get on. He didn't listen to me. I'm sorry, I can't help him.
Firing shots.
I just know it's karma. It's karma. That's all I know.
Oh man, this might change up in a few minutes. If this last invitation went through, it could turn. Oh man, I don't want to think about it.
Let's see what happens. But I was kind of hoping to hear from Miss Ivy because I know she's happier than hell. Because I know
for sure.
I texted my girlfriend last night who is a huge Patriots fan, and she was at work and she was pretty much jumping for joy.
Listen,
but yeah, I mean, I heard some bullshit from a certain. Well, I want to use Mark's word, Herb. named Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying the overtime rules are not fair. And to that, I say bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because you know what? Because they changed the overtime rules 10 years ago. Y'all remember this? Because when the Saints actually won the NFC Championship game, and it was still the old rules where it was the first team to score wins, no matter all this other bullshit. And then they changed the rule because the Vikings fans bitched. And then we have these rules that we got now. So what teams are a lot of doing now is they're going down and scoring touchdown with the first possession, so that way the other team don't see the ball. And people are going, and I've been hearing bullshits like, it's not fair. It's not fair. I don't give a fuck.
What was the old rule?
The old rule was the first team to score wins, no matter what.
I like that rule. That's how it should be.
Sudden death overtime means just that. Suddenly, you're dead.
Right.
And that's why we have the rules now, because the Vikings fans threw a bitch fit and they decided to play, because that's what happened was that the 5 turnover game in the NFC Championship game versus the Saints, and then they went on to win the Super Bowl. They turned the ball over 5 fucking times.
That's on them.
That is on them, but yet they still threw a fit because the Saints won the toss in overtime, drove the ball down the field, kicked a field goal, and won. They's like, we didn't get the ball.
That's on your weak ass defense.
Exactly. And what happens to the Chiefs because they were ranked like 31st in defense?
Yeah, they got. Let me use Cardi B didn't coin this phrase, but that's an old phrase from New York. They got dog walked down the field.
Yep.
And
yep.
You know, Bob Sutton, and see, I'm gonna say this because Bob Sutton was a coach for a team that I used to root for, the New York Jets. Right. Bob Sutton is trash. Bob Sutton always has talented defensive players.
Yep.
His teams usually rank in the top 5 for sacking the quarterback. Yet they're never ranked above, say, around the 20s as a total defense. Why is that?
He should go back to being a linebackers coach, because that's what he's good at.
Or go back to high school, coaching high school or some shit. I mean, damn.
He can't make adjustments. He doesn't make in-game adjustments. Why is he calling me? Don't be calling me, man. Tell this dude don't be calling me, man. I ain't answering. Somebody named Van X is trying to call me. Don't call me. You don't want this.
Don't mess with Chandler, seriously, because you open up the 55-gallon drum of whoop ass, and that might not be real pleasant.
Oh my lord!
But Bob Sutton,
here we go.
Bob Sutton is trash. And the Kansas City deserved to lose that game because they ran the same route on 3rd down with Julian Edelman the entire game. You never once adjusted.
Or they threw Gronk. They split Gronk out wide, and they didn't adjust that shit neither.
Nope. And Eric Berry, retired. You're done. Eric Berry, I'm sorry. It's a great story. You survived cancer, all that. I'm happy for you. You need to go sit down.
They had the game won. That defensive guy that had his hand in the neutral zone.
He had his whole body in the neutral zone.
He was lined up in the neutral zone, and if not that call, then that interception, the Chiefs win. They go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They had the game.
Yep, they did have
Mahomes did everything he was supposed to do. Kudos to him. He's going to be
and Patrick Mahomes is going to be a very good quarterback in the league, and there's no doubt about that. He's going to have his time. Unfortunately, he's going to have to pay his dues, and unfortunately, that means losing in the playoffs. But his time's going to come when he's going to be hoisting a Lombardi Trophy. So there's no doubt that's going to happen.
So we can't
hope that let's hope he doesn't believe the hype
and keeps working.
Now, his dad was a professional athlete, so I'm hoping that he's grounded enough to not buy in to the nonsense, because his second year is not going to be as good as this. I'm gonna say this right now. His next season, he's probably only gonna throw. I'm saying only gonna throw about 35 touchdowns.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
Here's what people are gonna say: What happened to you? The league adjusted.
Right.
He's going to have to adjust again. Let's hope he does.
Right. I said that about we had idiot, Marshall's not one of them, but we had idiot Dallas fans. Yeah,
Take it on.
that's that and that. I was like, they're gonna adjust to him next year.
And they did.
Right. And it seems like he's adjusted a little bit more and he looked better this year, than the previous year. And that's how it goes. When they adjust, you gotta adjust. You gotta work.
Carson Wentz is going to learn the same thing, and probably Nick Foles is going to learn whichever team he signs, because we all probably know he ain't staying in Philly.
Well, that's an interesting. Remember, we talked about the fact that they had to get rid of Nick Foles because the locker room was divided.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you guys see the story with the unnamed sources.
Mm-hmm.
Told you that's why they had to get rid of Nick Foles. You can't bring Nick Foles back to that because there's guys in that locker room who. Damn it! Sorry, I dropped the phone.
Shit.
Fumble.
There's guys in that locker room who truly believe that Nick Foles is better than Carson Wentz.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if they brought Nick Foles back, it would get really ugly in Philly. It really would.
Yeah, especially with that fan base that don't. Yeah.
But I think Carson Wentz, I feel bad for him because unless they get those guys out of that locker room, I don't see that they can be successful in Philly going forward. It's kind of like the T.O. thing with Donovan McNabb. It destroyed that team.
Yeah.
So you're saying, Chandler, that you don't think that they can be successful with Carson Wentz?
I'm saying that they have to find out who those guys that commented in their report, and they got to get rid of all of them.
Okay.
Even if they're star players, they got to get rid of them. Because otherwise what you have is you're going to have a section of that team and Carson Wentz is going to throw interceptions. He's going to have a bad game. Soon as he does it, man, we should have kept Nick Foles. Sure wish they could. Nick wouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be I'm telling you, man, they got to get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
They got to go.
Yeah, he's right, because they'll beat that drum on Philly sports radio nonstop.
Oh, you already know. Marshall. That goes without question.
How Philly fans are.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like they just talk way too much damn shit.
Definitely.
Marshall, I got something. Marshall, how do you feel about your new OC and your new QB coaches?
Who is it?
Well, Kitten is the quarterback coach, and then they got Kellen Moore. Look like. Well, actually, no, it's the Clapper who's going to be the OC.
Oh my God, John Kitten. John Kitten is the quarterback coach.
Yep.
It should have probably been the other way around.
No, John Kitten is the OC.
He's the OC?
Yeah, Moore is the the QB coach.
I'm so sorry, Marshall.
Well, I mean, but I've heard that the Clapper's going to actually call the plays. So we're just going to have to find out how this is going to work. But here's what I'm thinking. If Jerry sees that this shit goes downhill, I know Jerry doesn't like a strong-willed coach. But you also got to figure out, of course, I think Steven's running more shit now than anything. I think Jerry's kind of in the sidelines.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that if it goes south, then the days of the redhead coach are probably over.
You know what, Marshall? That may be why Kitten is there. If I'm Stephen Jones, right? Stephen Jones probably wants to get rid of Jason Garrett, but Jerry won't let him.
Right.
If I'm Stephen Jones, how do I get rid of Jason Garrett?
Set him up to fail.
He's got to fail. He's got to fail miserably, right? They're going to give Dak Prescott some obscene money. Maybe not the type of obscene money that some of these guys get, but he's going to get an obscene number, okay? And people are going to have a problem with it. You know it. I know it. Everyone on this call knows it. Whether he deserves it or not, I don't get into that. Listen, get every dime you can, professional athletes. Get every nickel, all right? Okay. I don't have a problem with guys making money. But we know there's going to be...
Adrien Broner?
Well, except for him. He don't deserve it. Matter of fact, he need to give some damn money back. But
He's tried.
yeah, okay, whatever. But I think if I'm Stephen Jones, I set Jason Garrett up to fail. Kind of like John Dorsey did to Hugh Jackson. I set him up to fail.
It's cold-blooded, but you know what? If Stevens of the future, because he knows Jerry eventually, I know, is mortal, and eventually he's going to kick the bucket, and Steven more likely is going to take over. So he's thinking, well, fuck, I want to win some damn Super Bowls and not just be, well, I don't know. We'll see. I have to wait and see about that. But
Well, the Cowboys make money regardless. They're one of those franchises. They make money regardless how good or bad they are.
That is true. But I mean, the other thing is, as far as winning, is like they actually, well, at least they try to win. I mean, when do you see the Knicks actually? When's the last time the damn Knicks made the playoffs?
I don't even know.
Wow. 6 years ago, probably.
No, you can criticize Jerry Jones for a lot, but you can't say he's not trying to win. Now he might be going about it the wrong way, but he's trying to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Certainly.
You know what? My thing is, man, I got an example of 6 degrees of separation with your ex OC Linehan.
Linehan?
Yeah, Linehan, whatever his name is. Okay.
He used to coach for the Rams.
Well, here's the funny thing. Did you hear some story about him being linked to the Jets?
I heard some shit about that.
Yeah. And I saw that. I just kept scrolling. I was like, I'm not even gonna bother reading this right now. You know what I mean? Because that would probably. Oh man, I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about that one with this guy being OC of the Jets.
I think that might have been when Herm Edwards was here. They were thinking about bringing him in.
No,
I don't think Herm wants any part of that shit.
We talking about today, Chandler. They want to bring Linneman in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were talking about in the past. Somebody mentioned. Let me stop. Fucking.
Oh, you got his blood pressure up.
Take it easy, brother. Take it easy. I know he wasn't feeling well earlier.
I mean, the coach is an idiot to begin with, but if they bring that guy in, the Jets will be picking first in the first round next year.
Well, you know what? No. Bring him in, because with Greg Williams, who can't be controlled unless the head coach is strong and has some gravitas, right? Which is why Greg Williams was only successful with a couple of coaches, Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. The reason Cleveland let him go was because they knew he would have run over and through Freddie Kitchens. Okay, Adam Gase is not going to be able to handle Greg Williams. The Jets are going to be a spectacular dumpster fire. So yes, bring in Scott Linehan, because I need everybody to be fired. I need mechanics. I need them all gone. So yes, bring him in. Oh my God, that would be. Oh my. Greg Williams has no problem criticizing the offense of any team he's on. With Linehan there, I give you by game 5. By game 5, the story's coming out where the defense is against the offense. Oh my God, yes. Yes, bring him to the Jets. Yes.
That sounds like shades of Houston and back in the 90s when you had Buddy Ryan and Kevin Gilbride who were at each other's throats.
And Buddy snuffed him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a damn talented team. If not for that, they could have been playing in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that was hilarious. He walked over, bop. In the middle of the game.
Oh man,
that was hilarious AF.
Oh yeah,
that's when football was fun. Now it's.
Oh, I got Byron Leftwich is the OC in Tampa Bay now.
Yeah, that's a good move.
I like that.
Okay,
I like that. Shout out to Bruce Arians. He got a nice staff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He gets some players to go with it. He can certainly challenge in the division. I don't think they're there yet.
Right.
But I mean, you certainly make it difficult for the other teams in your division because Atlanta looks like garbage. Carolina, I can't figure them out. The Saints are still the class division, but who knows how long?
Injured next year.
Who?
Cam has he He has a shoulder problem, which he had surgery on before, and it's the same injury, so he might have to have surgery again on that same shoulder. They might be down a quarterback, which
And
is
they're
bad
already
for him.
down all of Ron Rivera's assistants. I think damn near all of his assistants got fired.
Yeah.
And once the assistants go and you left, it ain't long for you.
Yeah.
It's not long for you. So yeah, I think that listen. Byron Leftwich doesn't get enough credit for being as good as he was as a quarterback. He was a really good quarterback. He was a statue. Took too many hits.
On the wrong
he got
team.
hurt. Yeah, but Byron Leftwich could play. So I think him being the QB coach, and the thing is, he's a lot like Jameis in that Byron Leftwich was a big dude. He didn't really move a lot. Now Jameis can move, but Jameis ain't really mobile. He can move when he has to.
Right.
Byron had a cannon for an arm. Byron Leftwich had
that dude had a howitzer for an arm. What are you talking about?
So and Jameis, listen, Jameis can throw that ball through a brick wall. He can. I think Byron will help him so much. And Byron Leftwich is not going to play with him. He ain't going to, what I'm saying? Yeah, because Byron came up when it was hard for a black quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It's still hard, but it ain't like it was when, when Byron was in the league. Okay.
I forget who the QB coach is, but Jameson should be good right now.
Yes.
He should learn from these men.
Yep.
So what about the greatest bum ever, Mr. Fitzpatrick? Where does he fit in?
Oh, he got to go.
He got to go. Yeah.
Oh, that's without question. You kidding me?
He can't be the backup?
No, he got to go. He got to go.
Why he got to go?
Nah.
Because there's too many guys in that locker room. It's the Philly thing.
Oh, that love fits.
Exactly.
Yeah, too many guys in that locker room. That has to be Jameis's team.
Yep.
You have to get rid of those guys who are too stupid to realize, Ryan Fitzpatrick got you your numbers, but you didn't win any damn games.
Nah.
Well, no, it's funny. They both put up. I looked at the stats. They both put up big numbers.
Yeah. But they didn't win.
Right.
They finished last in the division.
Thank you.
But if you look at their numbers in a vacuum, you're like, oh, they had a good season. Okay. All right.
Okay. You get to the playoffs? Did you win a game? No. All right.
Did they win? What they win? 5 games? 4 games? Something like that?
It was between 3 and 5.
I think it was 5.
Right.
Nah, they won 5 games. But I think going forward, Bruce Arians is the right coach for Tampa Bay. Byron Leftwich, the right OC.
Yeah.
And Jameis needs to listen and fall in line. Cut the nonsense. Cut the fools around you.
You think they could get Lovey as a DC for Tampa?
That would be great.
Wait, let me hold y'all up for a second. I gotta ask Chandler a question, man. And this is not from me.
Yeah, okay.
You know who this is from.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Hold up. All right, what is this? Hold on. What is the single most important thing the Patriots have to do to beat the Rams?
You know what? Show up. You know what? Honestly,
okay.
It's is Todd Gurley going to play? I need to know that first because we glossed over the fact that Todd Gurley got buried in the championship game.
10
he got
yards.
buried.
He wasn't
on the field for 3/4 of the game. He wasn't on the field. Okay, he got benched in their biggest game of the season. If he doesn't play, all they got to do is stop Jared Goff because the running game is going to be non-existent. Then all they got to do is concentrate on Goff. And trust me, Bill Belichick is going to make the Rams run to beat him. He's not letting Jared Goff beat him. So that's why I think the Patriots are actually going to win because Jared Goff is not beating Bill Belichick.
Okay.
Yeah, because Bill Belichick, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, coming back to the Giants, another one of their great wins when they beat the Buffalo Bills. I mean, before the game, who would have thought the Giants had a chance with Jeff Hostetler? Before the game, y'all even thought it's like, I hope they can win, but I don't know.
And Bill has 2 weeks. He's got 2 weeks. The game plan for them. And the thing with Sean McVay, listen, Sean McVay wants to be, oh yeah, boy's genius. Listen, you took your best player off the field and he was healthy. You should have lost the game.
What about the great C.J. Anderson?
Listen, C.J. Anderson there are teams that he is really good against. Oh, and by the way, the Cowboys are one of those teams that he is historically, if you look at his career, he's had really good games against the Cowboys no matter where he's played. He's run for 100 yards against the Cowboys. Something about him and the Cowboys, courses for horses and all of that.
I got to check his stats against New England.
Yeah, Todd Gurley is the truth. McVay benched him for some reason.
How do you only have 10 yards in the championship game?
Well, look at the stats. They didn't do nothing.
He wasn't on the field.
They didn't run a lot either.
But Todd Gurley might have had 12 snaps total for the game.
He might be in the doghouse.
This is not the time to do that.
4 carries.
What?
And he caught 1 pass. I don't know how many targets he got.
Wow.
So that's 5 touches. That's 5 touches.
Jesus. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. A man with that caliber of talent only had 5 touches. You gotta be shitting me. I'm sorry.
No, dude. They were talking about the entire game. Like, why is Gurley on the sideline? Why is Gurley on the sideline? Why won't they put Todd Gurley in the field?
Wow, man.
Now after the game, Gurley said, "Well, I was terrible," and they went with somebody else. I give him much respect for that. Most players wouldn't say that. I have a problem with Sean McVay because think about the big games that the Rams have lost. What happened in those games? Todd McVay or Sean McVay, whatever the hell his name is, Sean McVay. He minimized Todd Gurley in those games, and they lost those games.
That's because he want to be the man.
Oh,
it's my great offense. Boom. You know how these people think.
Boom.
Man, fuck out of here. That's just...
and the Patriots. One thing that they do. I mean, I have to give Bill Belichick credit. It's the system.
Yep.
And you get tired of hearing about it. I mean, it was the same way in Dallas when Tom Landry had it. It was the system. It's not the players. It's the system. And that's why. That's why the Patriots are going to win.
The Patriots, they doubled the time of possession against the Chiefs. And yes, it went to overtime. That's how explosive the Chiefs are with Pat Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't do the defensive job they do, they get run off the field.
Yeah.
They had the ball twice as long as them, and they still had to go to overtime. And everybody says, oh, they didn't do that good defensively. Dude, that's a hell of a defensive job that they did. If they don't do that, they lose the game probably by double digits.
Yeah, because they put a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes in the first half, and they did make an adjustment. But still, it's like he still looked a little shell-shocked from getting hit like that. And like you said, with Bob Sutton, who made no adjustment against Tom Brady, 2 hurries, didn't even sack him the whole damn game. How are you not going to put pressure on Tom Brady?
Yep. I'm telling you, Jared Goff ain't Pat Mahomes. So, trust me, Belichick is going to say to the Rams, I dare you to beat me, Jared Goff. I dare you to beat me.
But guess what? The Rams front 4 is nasty.
They might be. Oh, and Ndamukong Suh is playing like the Ndamukong Suh that came out of Nebraska.
That was in the early years in Detroit. They
my God.
If they need to watch the tapes of the Giants Super Bowl wins and other wins where teams front 4s did what they were supposed to do against New England.
And Harold Donald is a very good pass rusher, yeah.
Right.
But Ndamukong Suh is a difference maker when he wants to be. And the past 2 games, he's wanted to be. I mean, it's ugly what he's doing in there right now. So yeah, it's going to be a close game, but I think the Patriots win simply because I think it comes down to, can Jared Goff beat Bill Belichick? The answer is no. Okay, the answer is going to be no 1,000 times.
Because you got to realize that pressure is like, you know how the regular season from the postseason, I mean the preseason, excuse me, and then the playoffs, and that Super Bowl is an entire another animal. And he's going to get in that Super Bowl, and he's going to go like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" And it could be some interceptions and some turnovers, and then it's over.
Right. Oh man, yo, yeah, I tell you, I'm just listening to you guys. I'm just like cracking up here, you know.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know what's the Vegas? Who's Vegas got favored? Is it the Rams?
Oh man,
Patriots. I think 1.5, whatever that means. What does that mean, by the way?
What?
Like this point spread thing. What exactly? What the hell is that stuff?
Bro,
plus, minus, all that.
I don't even get it. I couldn't even begin to explain.
You've been watching football all your life, right, Chandler? You don't know that?
I don't gamble. I've never understood gambling, so I've never known what it meant.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you explain it, Mac? I mean, you what? You put people on blast like you know it.
I'm not an expert gambler.
Oh, well, but you know about it, though.
You just put me on blast when you don't know.
Exactly. What the hell, man?
That's what I do.
Exactly. That's why I was like, why don't you go and explain it then? I'm like, what the hell, man?
I'm gonna look it up though.
No, because people talking about, I'm gonna give you the points. What the hell does that mean? You giving me points?
No idea. I couldn't.
Giving you the points is if we make a bet on a team and the spread is 6 and your team is favored, we not gonna bet based on the points. We just gonna bet on winning and losing.
Okay, so if somebody's minus 6, what is that?
What?
That I don't know.
Yeah, because there's minus and there's minus. There's people like, it's the Rams -3. What the hell does that mean?
Wait a minute. And I gotta fact check what you just said, Mac, because you lost me on that one.
Do y'all remember when the Cowboys they won the playoff game versus Seattle, but yet it was the point spread. I believe they were like 4-point favorites, and Seattle they covered they lost, but they covered the spread. That made a huge bank of money in Vegas because they covered the spread.
And I think the minus deals with the home and the home team and the road team. But
okay, we need to get some gamblers on here. We need some gamblers on here.
Real gamblers.
Some real gamblers.
I'm not a real gambler. I just know some things, but I'm not
There you go.
real gambler. Now, where's Mr. Van Exels? He gambles with his mouth. Does he gamble? Does he know how to gamble?
Yo, Chandler.
Shot fired.
But Chandler. I mean, I'm not Chandler. Marshall. He said he was gonna call you. He said he got your number.
Call me. Well, I mean, he gonna get the FU button.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Oh man, Ronan said he dropped his Nacho Supreme.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
That's like, especially numbers from New York. I don't recognize you. Gonna talk to voicemail.
Oh my god! I swear, man.
He said he sent you a kite, Marshall.
Oh, he'll be right. He'll live.
Oh my god!
This is why I love dealing with y'all. Y'all are hilarious.
Yeah, for real. I'm over here crying. I'm sorry, I can't even control myself, man. You know.
But he is knowledgeable about basketball. I will give him that.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, all right.
But he is knowledgeable about other things. Like one of the things is running his mouth. But I mean, again, I just state my opinion.
Nah, I hear you, man.
I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Basketball lane. How do y'all think OKC is going to do? Paul George has been playing very well, and it seems like him and Westbrook have some chemistry. Is OKC viable in the playoffs.
They're out in the first round.
Hang on a second. I got to look some shit up.
They're out in the first round.
First round KO.
This is a team that gave up 142 points to the Atlanta Hawks.
There you go.
That's one game.
I don't care. You gave up 142 points to the Atlanta Hawks.
It's the NBA. This is the NBA. The run and gun shoot three NBA.
142 points to the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Who do you trust in the West over them?
I honestly trust the Lakers over them with LeBron. Without LeBron, no.
Okay.
I trust Portland more than I trust them.
Mm-hmm.
I trust the Clippers more than I trust them.
Wow.
That's a bold statement.
Damn, that's pretty low.
Because you know what I know about the Clippers this season? Now that, first of all, Doc Rivers, this has been his best coaching job of his life. I've been killing Doc Rivers for years. Okay, I've been killing him for years because he was living off of his assistants. Right? He was living off his assistants.
I agree with you on that.
He's actually coaching this year. And that team brings it every single night. Oklahoma City, they don't bring it every night.
Okay.
You know what,
so
Matt?
I trust the Clippers more than I trust the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You know what, Matt?
Yes.
When you asked that, when you posed that question, I said, you know what? I'll let these guys speak first, but I was just gonna let out a yawn because that's my reaction. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I was gonna let out a yawn. I'm like, Paul George, wow, yay, okay.
Nah, Paul George has been solid all year.
I'm just surprised that they're actually third place in the Western Conference. I mean, and Denver's like second place. I mean, what the hell's going on there?
Denver got a nice crew that's gelling at the right time.
Who they got?
Jamal Murray and what's my man name? Jokic? No. Jokic?
Yeah. You're right.
Jamal Murray's coming into his own. The big man whose name I'm getting him mixed up with another Eastern European big man.
You're getting him mixed up with Portland's big man.
Yep. One is Jokic and one is Jokic. So whichever one plays in Denver. The ball goes through him. He's a 5'2" basketball player. Okay? He can rebound. He can shoot. He can score. He has a post game. And the best thing about him is he's a great passer. And he's a willing passer, and he can initiate offense. So if you look at the Denver team, they have some young guys coming into their own, and they have a big man who is a talented player that they can rely on. So, and they got a good head coach.
Right.
You know, because Mike Malone can coach. All right. Had Sacramento not allowed George Karl to screw him over, Sacramento would be way further than they were, and DeMarcus Cousins would still be in Sacramento.
That's right.
Yep.
Hey, Mark, real quick. I'm sorry, Mark, real quick. UNC had a big win against Virginia Tech there. I just thought just to give you a heads up there.
Thank you.
Well, you a Virginia Tech fan?
No, I'm a North Carolina fan.
Tar Heels.
So you like you like schools that cheat. Okay.
Oh shit.
Don't they all?
St. John's doesn't.
It ain't been caught yet, but
yeah, whatever. Hey, yo, my man, tell them to add another class that don't exist. All right.
Hey, I got on them about that, Chandler.
Yeah.
We got archives. I got on UNC about that. I don't like their coach.
Oh, I can't stand Roy Williams.
No. Yeah, he is kind of whiny.
Yeah. I mean, he had too many good teams in Kansas and never won. I'm not a Roy Williams fan at all.
Nah.
Nope. He's a. he's. I don't even know where to begin with that.
He's a I confess you did it guy. It's never his team's fault when they lost. It's never his coaching. It's always something outside of the team rather than, you know what, we just didn't play well. It's always something. Not a fan.
Now, I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Is Duke would be considered the New England Patriots of college basketball? Because I kind of think they are.
No.
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 I mean, I know they're hated, especially around here where I live. Because yes, we still remember Chandler. The point you brought about they're still they still hate Christian Laettner.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's a good question, Marshall.
Yeah,
that is a good question.
It really is. But I had to say no. I don't think so. I don't think so.
But do you mean in terms of hate, or do you mean in terms of winning?
Both, because they do. I mean, you got to admit when Duke is like at the NCAA tournament, they seem to get overseeded a lot more than other teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Or get a little primrose path in the tournament where other teams have to play higher, tougher competition.
Yeah, they sort of, but
yeah. When you know what, when you put it that way, and the way the league has favored the Patriots, and the amount of hate, the thing is the hate for North Carolina is just as strong. Is the thing, in college basketball. So, hate wise, I'd say no, but how they're treated by college basketball, yeah. I'd say yeah.
I just thought that, and of course that the same thing can be said about Kentucky too, because when you win as much as Kentucky has, and on television a lot, there are people that just can downright just hate the University of Kentucky when it comes to basketball.
Yeah. But they don't get the treatment that Duke and North Carolina do because the NCAA hates John Calipari.
Yeah, they do.
So he's never going to get that benefit of the doubt. And the media really don't like John Calipari.
They don't.
They don't.
Nah.
No, they don't.
They'll write pieces that are supposedly flattering to him, but they'll always bring up Memphis and UMass.
And he's like, I don't give a fuck about that shit.
And he bring up his NBA career. Or lack of.
It'll be some piece out. John Calipari, greatest coach in basketball. Hey, but let's talk about UMass, John. Like, dude, seriously? They still bringing up Lou Rowe. Like, seriously? Come on, man.
I mean, his '96 team when he played against Kentucky in the Final Four. I mean, that was a pretty good squad. The problem was I don't think they had enough bodies in that game, and it was just a very good job to get to the Final Four. But
Yeah, I mean, John Calipari can coach. You can say what you want about him. At least he's an honest snake oil salesman.
He is an honest snake oil salesman. You're right.
Because he doesn't try to hide the fact that, listen, man, I'm not trying to get you here to get an education. You're going to play for 1 year. You're going to raise your draft stock. You're going to cut a big check, and you're going to move on.
He is honest about it. A lot of people don't like that shit.
That's the NCAA. At the major college level, guys are there for 1 year, and it is what it is.
I agree with John Calipari that I think it should be 2 years that they have to stay.
Right.
And I do agree with that.
I don't.
Right.
Because listen, if I'm a chemical engineer, right? I'm going in for chemical engineering. I can take a job at DuPont while I'm a freshman. Okay,
As
if I'm
an
good
intern?
enough. No, I can get a job at DuPont. Okay, if I'm top of my class, I can get a job at DuPont. I'm making $100,000 a year. What they'll do is they'll pay for me to continue my schooling, so I'll go ahead and get my degree. But I'm working for DuPont. But if I'm a basketball player, I'm not allowed to go to make any money. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have a talent, there are kids doing law, all right, who are interning for judges. Okay, they're clerking for judges. They're making money. All right, they have a talent. They're maximizing their talent because that's what college is for. Is for you to what? Do something with your life, get some kind of education, so you can go get a damn job. Right. And if you
because they can't even get a job at McDonald's, can they?
Right. And if you get the job while you're in school, so much the better. Right. Why is it different for athletes?
Well, specifically basketball players, because it's slightly different for football. It's very different for baseball.
Right. And hockey.
Yeah. because you can go to college and still be drafted by a baseball team.
Right.
Is that the same for hockey as well?
Yes. You get drafted, and then you're that team's property, and then you go to college.
Right.
Like K. The kid K. that the Rangers drafted, whose last name just left me. He's from Minnesota. Like kid, great hockey player. Kid's gonna be good defenseman. He's going to University of Wisconsin right now. Okay, that's what the NHL does is they'll draft guys out of high school or out of juniors or whatever, and then they say, "Oh, well, I'm going to Wisconsin." Okay, all right, and what happens though is around their third year, if they stay,
You
they
lose the
have to
rights.
they have to start declaring whether they're going to go back or not. And then once they graduate, they have so much time to sign them, or they become free agents.
Got you.
So basically, they hold their rights for 3 to 4 years while they're playing in college. But they've already been drafted.
Got you.
Yep.
I forget the baseball draft rules as it
It's the thing.
pertains to high
A
school and
team can
college.
draft you, but if you go to college, you can't come back into the draft for 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. Football, you gotta play 2 years of college, right?
You got to be out of high school 3 years.
So you gotta be a junior.
Junior to declare early.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And basketball is
One and done.
Right. See, I don't think you should make kids go to school if they're not going to school to get an education, then it's a waste of time for them to be there.
right.
Let them go do their 1 year if they want to. I think they should be able to go from high school, first of all, but I don't think you can make a kid go to school that has no interest in education. Because all you're doing then is benefiting the college. The college gets 2 years of his indentured servitude. They get 2 years to make money off of him. Now, on the flip side, will guys' games be better when they come into the league? They absolutely will.
Right.
Will some of them hopefully mature a little bit? Hopefully. But if you're a knucklehead, you're a knucklehead no matter what. I understand the thought process, but to me, if Marshall, as a great basketball player coming out of high school, and Marshall has no interest in going to class, I see no point in making him go.
Right.
Because it's too easy for them now, and Chandler brings up a good point. It's too easy for them now to get over, and you know how the athletes are treated at major universities. If you can play ball, whatever, they'll find ways around to cheat to get you to say, have somebody else take your papers or do whatever, and get you around that shit.
Get you money and cars and give your family money and
Well,
cars.
after the second semester, you don't have to go to class anymore.
Yeah.
Because
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because after the second semester, right? By the time it comes around that you failed out, the school season is over and you've been drafted. The school year's over, you've been drafted.
Right. I tried to explain this to my friend who went to like a either Division 2 or Division 3 school. And he was always adamant on the players not being paid and that they get an education. I was like, bruh, it's not like that. Not at the major level. They aren't going to class.
No.
At the small schools, they have to.
Yeah, small schools, yeah. And even then, in some of the small schools, they don't really go to class either.
Right. It depends on if money is driving the bus at that small school.
Right.
If money's driving the bus at that small school, then not. They ain't going to class. But if that small school is not dependent upon the athletic department money, then you got to go to class. You know, that's kind of like Stanford. Listen, we don't give a damn how well you can dunk, jump, tackle, run, whatever. If you can't read, you can't come here. Period. In the story.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
You know, because we have Nobel Prize winners and multimillionaires and multi-billionaires donating money to us. We're good. All right. We don't need the athletic department. All right. It's extracurricular. Shit.
Or like Georgetown, but I don't know. Georgetown is kind of sketchy over there.
Well, no, Georgetown is another one where, listen, you have politicians' children going to Georgetown. You have a lot of
Right.
international money being funneled into Georgetown. They don't need the athletic department. They like having it. There's a
Right.
difference.
Right. Like Patrick Ewing is educated. Alonzo Mourning is educated.
Mm-hmm.
Kimbe Mutombo is educated.
Yep.
The David Wingates and the Reggie Williams, all them dudes is they got their education there at
Yep.
Georgetown. I
Mm-hmm.
can't say that for other schools.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
And you know, they need to stop the BS. I hate when writers try to disparage the students for not going to class. I'm like, oh, you need to point your finger at the university, at the AD, and at the
Mm-hmm.
coaches for not.
Look, the head coach now at Florida, right?
Basketball or football.
Football.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name. Matt. Not Florida, Miami. The head coach at Miami,
Right.
whose name I can't recall. It's a Hispanic guy. He was the head coach at Temple. Temple hired him. A week later, Miami got rid of whoever the coach was. I think it was Mark Richt. He then quit the job at Temple to go to Miami.
Say that again.
He had been hired for a week.
You okay, Marshall?
No, I think I'm gonna have to get off here.
Okay.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
No problem.
I can't call his name. Who the hell is it? Miami. I'm screwing this up. But hello, Mark?
Yeah, I'm here.
But yeah, he left Temple to go to Miami. He'd only been on the job a week. But you're gonna make kids go to school for 2 years? Miss me with that.
Right. Or you have coaches making $8 million a year. Assistant coaches making crazy bank.
It's ridiculous.
The AD and the president's making crazy money. I do it all the time. The schools making over 60 million, 80 million off the basketball and football programs.
Mm-hmm.
At schools that have both programs and both programs are successful.
Yep.
Like Miami.
Yep.
And Florida. Disgusting.
Trying to pull it up now. Hold on. Manny Diaz.
Okay.
He was hired as Temple's coach. A week later, Mark Richt stepped down. He then left his job at Temple to go to Miami.
Was there any legal thing between the two universities?
No, they let him do it.
Between him and the universities?
No, they let him do it.
Okay.
Tim was like, "Oh, you don't want to be here? Then go ahead and go."
Right.
I'm sure he had to pay something or whatever. But that's not the point. The point is he recruited kids to come to Miami, and then he left because he got a better opportunity. So why can't these kids leave for a better opportunity? Why are they forced? Why should they be forced to stay in school when they have opportunities?
Right. Just like somebody, forget what reporter, he tried to disparage a kid because the kid transferred schools. He's transferring schools. I think it's basketball. He's transferring schools in the middle of the season. He's mad at the kid. I ain't mad at the kid. Do you know what these coaches say to kids? I take your scholarship away. I make sure you never play at a big time college.
Yep.
You're gonna do what I say. They that's how they talk to these kids, and it's disgusting. Ronan Black said Miami came to a financial agreement with Temple about Diaz's contract with Temple.
Yep. I figured that. Yeah, they paid him off. But how is that right? How is that right?
It's not.
But check this out. There's a kid, Martell Tate, I think is his name. He was supposed to be Ohio State's quarterback this coming season. Right. Well, Justin Fields, I think is the name, is transferring in.
The other story. Right.
So Martell Tate said, well, the hell with Ohio State. Do you know how much slander this kid is getting right now?
Right. He's getting torn apart.
Yeah.
That's BS. He's looking out for his career and looking out for himself. But I guess you can't do that.
No, because these so-called fans, you know, oh, you're supposed to bleed for the team and blah 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 for the team. And when he doesn't get drafted and he's got to go work at Jiffy Lube, are you going to help him pay his bills?
Nope.
For the team?
You're going to laugh at him.
But I don't know. Somebody posted on Twitter the other day, and she was right. She said, I can't remember exactly. I'm gonna have to paraphrase. Basically, what she said was, is you can't root for any team or league and feel fully validated with your conscience. You can't. Because every team, every league is doing something, if you have any sort of ethics, that kind of goes against it.
Right.
It kind of goes against it. So when you root, you're actually rooting in spite of yourself now.
Right. Right. Is she talking about college, or is she talking about in everything
Just talking
in
about
totality?
sports. You're talking about sports fandom in general.
Right. Right. That's why right now I'm not I know I had to laugh at Knicks fans today. I'm not losing sleep. Somebody posted in Facebook when the Patriots won, the dude punched a hole through his TV.
Yeah, I saw that nonsense.
And I'm like, it's not that serious, bro. Hope you didn't cut your hand.
You know what the thing is, though? When I was I joined the Navy when I was 17. I was a huge sports fan because for me, sports was an escape from a lot of terrible things. So I was really invested in my teams, really invested. I would fight you over my teams. Literally, right. I mean, I got into fights, with people. Fight, you know what I'm saying? I'm fighting you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting paid. Once I hit, I think, I'm going to say 25. That shit went out the window. I realized I wasn't getting paid. I realized that they didn't actually give a damn about me. Okay? That if I didn't watch the game went on anyway. So, yeah, I'll have a sports debate, sports argument. I'm not fighting you, and I'm not losing sleep. I'm not breaking things anymore. I'm not mad for 3 days. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I still have some old sports grudges that still bother me. I still hate Dave Winfield. If I met him in the street, I'd spit in his face. Okay? But I was young then, and that grudge is from a child. All right? You hit 137 in the World Series. I hate you. Period in the story. I want you to die. All right? That kid is still there. I still hate Dave Winfield. But, I still hate Richard Todd for 1985. I still hate you, Richard Todd. If I meet you in the street, I'm spitting in your face. But from 25 on, my sports disappointments, okay, whatever.
Right. Yo, my old neighborhood, right after the big game, everybody would meet on the block and argue for about an hour at the top of our lungs.
Man, listen, 1978, the day the Yankees had the game against the Red Sox. We were all out. I was living in South Ozone Park, right? We was going to play stickball, whole thing. We out there playing. The game started. The street went empty. Everybody went in the house to watch the game, right? Game was over. We all went back outside. That's how deep it was. There was not one kid on the street when that game was being played.
Right.
Now, man, listen. I'll catch it on down. I'll catch the highlights. Miss me with that.
Or the replay.
Yeah.
Or I DVR'd it.
Yeah. It's not that serious anymore. And that's because of the crap that goes on in sports. You know, I know that the NFL don't give a damn about me as a black man. I know they don't give a damn about me as a veteran. How invested can I really be? Major League Baseball, they've gone out of their way to minimize African Americans in baseball. How invested can I really be?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I root for the Yankees, but at the same time, how can I actually root for them if I really care about my people?
Right.
The ethical questions, man, go for every sport if you really think about it.
Right. NBA is probably the most inclusive out of all the major sports.
They say they are, but you know,
Well, yeah,
they've done things to show otherwise.
Right. Right.
So, and that's what I'm saying. No matter what sport, if you have some sort of ethics, there's some problematic things with being a fan of that sport or that team.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you justify then supporting that sport or that team?
Right. Right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Well said. Well said. Well said. It's crazy.
It is. It is when you think about it. You know what I'm
That's why
saying? It really is.
I had to stop being a Giants fan because of Josh Brown.
Right.
I ain't mad at him about that either. I'm like,
But
yeah, you're
he
right.
still talks about the game, still talks to NFL. You understand what I'm saying? But we still talk about the NFL. Okay.
Right.
So we're still helping the NFL.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We're still supporting it, even though we're not supporting it.
Right.
But that's the quandary of being a sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the quandary is, but I love sports.
Right. Just like I don't like Adrien Broner. I didn't want to see his fight, but here I stood for almost 40 minutes talking about him.
Right. It's man. The ethical shit that comes with being a sports fan is a trip. It really is.
And I wanted, in actuality, I want to see that brother do well, but he doesn't get it.
Listen, I don't want to see him do well because he's an asshole.
Well, he is.
He's not a good person.
Right.
So I'm never gonna root for a bad person to do well.
Right. Right.
He's not a good guy.
Right. Right. He's a clown.
Yeah, so I can't root for you. Now there's some guys that are clowns, but they mean well, but they're just dumbasses. I can root for those people. Right. You're just a dumbass, but you don't mean any harm. You're just stupid. Okay. I can still root for you. Like Rob Gronkowski, he's a moron. He does a lot of things that are sketchy, but he has no ill intent. He's just a big dumbass. You know what I'm saying? So I can still be root for him to be successful, I guess, and understand that him being a dumbass doesn't come from a bad place. He's just a dumbass. Some people just are.
Right.
They go through life like and that's how they do it. Broner, his shit is calculated.
Yeah, he just, I don't understand how you on the outskirts of the hood in Cincinnati with in a bullet hole riddled SUV, and you think that's cool. He was fine with that. Hello? Still there, Chandler? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just knocked something over. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, he thought that was cool. And jail ain't cool. Getting shot at is not cool. It's people in that life that's trying to get out of that life and don't want to be in that life.
Right.
And here you are glorifying it.
Exactly. When you're not really living that life, because you know what I'm saying, you ain't built like that.
Right.
Because listen, man, if he was really living that life, he wouldn't be boxing. You know it, and I know it.
Of course.
Okay. So don't tell me you still out here thugging when you not. I'm not trying to hear you. Listen, I'm from Coney Island, man. I know cats and all this, that, and the third. I'm not built like that no more. So I don't front like I'm built like that no more. Now I'm still built for it, but I'm not built like that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I have to do what I got to do, that's a whole different conversation. But I'm not a thick grinding like those cats are. So for me to front and act like I am is disrespectful as hell, number one. And two, it's validating nonsense.
Right.
I'm supposed to be better than that once I hit a certain age. Adrien Broner is almost 30. Grow the fuck up.
Yep. His I watched the press conference before the fight, and he cursed out I forget the guy he cursed out, but he cursed out the announcer there. Which in a way I had no problem with, because the guy does dog you out on social media, but it's a way that you let the guy know that you don't embarrass us,
right,
and embarrass yourself, because you embarrassed yourself. He made you look stupid, and then Jim Gray made you look stupid.
What did Jim Gray do? Because I don't know about that.
Jim Gray told him his record. He said, "You think you won? You 3-1 in your last 7 fights."
Wow. Really?
And then Adrien said, "You against me?" He said, "No, I'm not against you. Your record is against you, though."
Wow.
Well, he didn't say that, but
Well, Jim Gray is at a point in his career where he ain't got to take shit from nobody.
Right.
Jim Gray been doing this for 3 decades now?
Yep.
Jim Gray, he done made his bones. So, he ain't got to take shit from nobody, especially not an Adrien Broner.
Yeah, if we was on BTR, I would have that audio, because that made my night. He said, "You against?" He said, "I'm not against you."
I would have said I am.
3-1 is against you.
Wow. And I'm not a Jim Gray fan by any stretch of imagination.
Me either. And then after the fight, Adrien, "I thought I won." "You thought you won? Really?"
Yeah, that's the first thing I saw on ESPN. Pacquiao dominates Broner. Broner says he won. I'm like, really, dude? Okay. But, oh, man. Where's this dog at? I got to find my dog. Where you at?
The dog is chilling, man. Leave the dog
No,
alone.
I got her a soup bone today, so.
Yeah, let her have a soup bone.
Man, the hell with that. I need some attention.
Sheesh. So what you feel about the Yankees picking up this other reliever?
Ottavino.
Yes.
I don't know about him. It's hard to play in the city you grew up in.
It is.
It's hard to play in the city you grew up in.
Yep.
Relievers they're a short-term stock. You got to buy low and sell high. Usually, when a team lets a guy go who has been lights out for them, they're expecting a downturn in his performance.
Right.
Now, what helps Ottavino is he's got Zach Britton, Jonathan Holder, Dylan Betances, Aroldis Chapman, Chad Green, to kind of give him cover if he does struggle.
Right.
Now, if he doesn't struggle, then the Yankees should be playing 5-inning games. Period of the story. 5-inning games. If he struggles, the Yankees should still play 5-inning games.
Right.
So it's a win-win for them. it's kind of almost a lose-lose for him. If you think about, well, in the sense of he's not going to stand out in his bullpen, but if he doesn't pitch poorly, he can still leave here and make more money.
Right.
So I like to pick up, but I don't know about him personally. So when he strike out Babe Ruth, man, listen, shut the hell up.
Right. You know what that is. He's got to say.
He's a dumbass. But, Sonny Gray got traded today.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. How do you feel about that?
Cashman got a piss poor return.
Yeah, that's what one of the guys in our Facebook group said. I agree, but
that's a piss poor return.
What could you have gotten for Sonny Gray?
Well, if you hadn't announced you were going to trade him, you probably could have gotten some major league talent back or higher level prospects. But once you told the world, oh, we're trading Sonny Gray, well, I know you have to now trade him because you can't bring him back. I'll offer you a bag of balls.
And we saw what he did last year for you.
Yeah, but everybody knew that was an aberration. Sonny Gray wasn't built for the Yankees. So
I looked at his record, though. He was 11-9.
Yes. But he's really not built to pitch in New York.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
So Cincinnati, listen, he might win 18 games in Cincinnati, but
yeah, he'll go back to being a Sonny Gray he was in Oakland.
Right. So any team that gets him knows that. So yes, they would have gave up a B-level prospect. We got like a C to a D-level prospect for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then supposedly they're flipping that prospect to Seattle for a pitcher.
Yep.
But I believe that pitcher is only a C-level prospect. So basically, you gave up Sonny Gray for a C-level prospect and a compensatory pick. Okay. And you still need to add to your rotation.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I think that the return was poor. I think Cashman did a bad job here. I do. But Cashman, to me, has always done a bad job when it's come to pitching. Always.
I think so, yeah.
He has not been good at evaluating starting pitching. He is not. And if you look at the pitchers that he gave up on and ones he kept, he gave up on Ian Kennedy. He kept Jabba, who had a longer career, Ian Kennedy, who's still pitching, by the way.
Yep.
It just, you have to look at his track record when it comes to starting pitching. Remember, I kept mentioning the name Kukichi, the guy from Japan.
Right.
How much did Seattle give him? $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I said I wanted him. Cashman, Yankees weren't in on it, right?
Right.
I'm telling you, I said I really wasn't in on Corbin, but, wanted him. They didn't get him. I'm telling you now, they need to go get Dallas Keuchel. They're not going to get him.
They're not going to go get him.
And that's the guy they need. They need a 6-man rotation. With a 6-man rotation and the way you're going to use this bullpen, it is the only thing that makes sense. CeCe's going to miss starts. Tanaka's going to miss starts. When a 6-man rotation, it doesn't matter when a guy misses a start. Because then you just start a guy on regular rest instead of an extra day's rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
are teams doing that? Are teams going to a 6-man rotation?
No, teams keep talking about it, but no one's willing to bite the bullet and do it.
And they don't do. I know teams have done it like the Mets did it in spurts for a minute last year, and other teams have done it in spurts, but haven't come out with a full blown. Yo, we gonna rock with 6 guys starting every 6 days as opposed to every 5th day.
And if you're going to go this analytics route, the 6-man rotation is the only way to go if you're going to go to these 5-inning starts. That's really the best way to go. Because what you're really doing, because there's going to be days in there where one guy goes 7-8 innings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're giving all your starters an extra day of rest. You're already pitching them short innings. Guess what? Dude, I'm telling you, the 6-man rotation is the best way to go. I was doing MLB The Show. I did 2018. I did it with 6-man rotation. I won 138 games. I'm just saying.
You didn't play me out of rocked you. Nah,
I won 138 games. Miss me with that shit. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play when I get on the phone with you. Now I want to play.
You use the Yankees?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
You ain't have to say it like that, man.
I got rid of Sonny Gray. I traded Sonny Gray for James Paxton. I wound up with Steven Matz. Here was my rotation. I had Severino Tanaka CC. Paxton, Steven Matz, and Aaron Nola.
Why the Mets do that? I wouldn't have given you Steven Matz.
They gave me David Wright. I had David Wright as a bench player. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't have did those trades with you.
Well, the computer said yes, and I had it on the computer being able to say no, by the way. But I gave them 3 guys for Wright, and I gave them 4 guys for Matz. What I did was I gave them 4 B-level prospects for Steven Matz.
That's the Mets for you.
That's actually a good trade.
I said that's the Mets for you.
Yeah, that's a good trade in real life. So I gave them 4 Bs for Matz. I gave them 2 Cs for Wright. But basically, they were just trying to get rid of his contract. Worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Listen, I'm telling you, the 6-man rotation is the way to go. Yankees need to go sign Dallas Keuchel, and they'll be good.
They're not going to do it. And
all left. Yeah, I know.
And it's 11:06, so I'm gonna have to leave.
All right.
And hope you win in your game, and I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody in the chat room for rocking with us, except for Chad. He left though. Thank you, Marshall, for being on us live, and we might get at y'all tomorrow. All right. Peace. Get up here and strip that bed and stuff.